hear me. Excuse me. You know what is on my mind today? Today, I woke up thinking about a couple of different things. And not really deciding what we're going to talk about until there we go. My title didn't show up, so today's conversation is about quitting. The title was supposed to show up, but it didn't show up, so oh well. What do you do about that? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Where you at, Susie, Steve, Rose, Darlene, Elaine, Charmin, Crystal? Where you at? Where you at? There you are. Good morning, Susie. Good morning. What does it say? Kai means lie. Cut your losses. That's what we're talking about today. Cutting your losses. It's crazy because I'm not going to start talking about it. Good vibes. Good vibes when I wake up talking about cutting losses. Can you hear me just fine? Because I'm doing today with these AirPods. Good morning, Steve. Can you guys hear me okay? I want to make sure that it's not bothersome, that the sound is coming through okay. I'm playing with this. Good morning, Rose. I'm playing with this. Okay, perfect. Thank you. I'm playing with this different setup every day. Oh, I want to tell you guys. I want to tell you. I know today we're going to talk about cutting losses, but it actually kind of plays into cutting losses. So yesterday, I was trying to make some bread. Look, Rose, that bread came out so hard. It's hard as a rock. Oh my God, it's terrible. I have not made bread. Have I ever made bread? I have not made bread in at least 20 years. I mean, I don't know the last time I made bread, really, honestly, or if I've ever actually made bread. But this bread turned out terrible. And I fell asleep while it was baking. So when the timer went off, my son, the boy was like, "Hey mom, can I check the bread?" Because he loves bread. He wanted to check it. I was like, "Yeah, go ahead, check the bread." He kept coming back talking about, "I don't think it's done. I don't think it's done." Finally, he came back and said it's done. I'm knocked out on the couch. And when I say knocked out on the couch, y'all, I was upside down and backwards. I had my body laying on the ottoman, my butt in the seat of the couch, and my feet up in the air, stretching my legs and stretching and stretching. Yeah, I was upside down backwards on that couch. Stretched out like a crazy person. It's so funny because, if I saw the kids doing this, I'd be like, "Why are you sitting on my couch that way?" And yet, here I was. Anyway, it was comfortable. So he's like, "Mom, oh, this bread is really good. Mom, it's good." I don't want any bread, son. I don't want any bread. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't want any bread. I get up this morning, I go in the kitchen. Y'all, that bread it's like a brick. It is hard as a rock. I'm going to try again today. Make another loaf of bread today. I'm going to keep trying. Keep trying. Keep trying. Steve, you cracking me up, man. You cracking me up. All right, let me see if it'll be if I disconnect these. Turn off my Bluetooth. Let's see. All right. Is that better? Is that better? Is the sound better? I mean, is it better? Are my lips moving with the sound now without using the? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I don't know what that's about today. Well, pay attention to the voice. Don't pay attention to the lips. The lips will fool you. So, oh, that's better. It's better now. Okay. Well, we're gonna do it without the AirPods. Thank you, Steve. Y'all be checking me like, Kai, adjust the lighting, adjust the sound, girl. No, you're not coming through right. You're not coming through right at all. So I'm gonna try the bread again. So I woke up this morning. At first I was thinking all this weekend, I'm like, we're gonna talk about love languages this week. We're gonna talk about all the different love languages. And then I walked into the kitchen and I saw that loaf of brick. It's not a loaf of bread, y'all. It's a loaf of brick. And I thought about quitting. When do you cut your losses? Do I just say, okay, I'm not a bread maker? Or do I try the same recipe again? It's only the first time I tried it. It's not my recipe. It's only the first time I tried it. Do I try the same recipe again? Or do I try a different recipe? At what point is it okay to quit what you are doing and move on to something else? At what point? Because we're raised like, oh, we don't raise quitters. We're not quitters. Why can't I quit? Why can't I quit something? Why can't I quit and not be labeled a quitter? Just because I quit something, like my cucumbers that's dying, I swear, Sully talking about they're not dead, but them suckers look dead to me. They look so dead, it's ridiculous. The vine is all shriveled up. Like, please, you starved us to death. You adjusted our roots. You messed with us. We were all intertwined, and it unintertwined us. You untwined us. I'm not coming back for you. That's what my cucumbers are saying. I'm not coming back for you. But when do we say, okay, enough is enough? I have tried. I've been on this course. I have been on this path. And now it's time for me to hop off of this path, cut over to the other one, because this one is not working for me. And is it okay to do that? Why don't we give ourselves permission to quit? Why do we? And then if we say, okay, we don't raise quitters. I'm not a quitter. My mama didn't raise a quitter. I'm not raising quitters. Then we're teaching ourselves, we're holding ourselves to this same course, no matter how destructive it is, because we're not a quitter. And we're teaching our kids that when something doesn't work for them, you have to stick with it anyway because you're not a quitter. And is that the right lesson we should be teaching? Maybe we don't want people being fickle. Maybe instead of saying you're not a quitter or I'm not a quitter, how about we say, you're not fickle. I don't raise fickle people. I don't raise people who are not able to commit. Are you going to be committed to this? Maybe change. We talk at this table about how we use language and how this language shapes us, has shaped us, and how we're using it to shape those around us, right? So how is it that I bake, right? I'm a baker. And so when I was doing my cupcake business, I was trying to do everything, do it all, right? I had people who wanted gluten-free. Can you make gluten-free? Can you make gluten-free? Can you make sugar-free? Can you make this free? Look, if I make it free, it is not a cupcake anymore, okay? It's like something, but it's not a cupcake. If I take all the sugar and I take out all the flour and I take out all the whatever else, everything, if I take everything out, it's nothing. It's water, okay? It's a bowl of air. We've all seen it where, okay, this is the healthiest thing. It's a bowl of air. But I was trying to do gluten-free. Now it's already vegan. Now it's vegan. I've taken out all the animal products. I've reduced the sugar, but I'm not taking the sugar out. It's a cupcake. But I was trying to work on gluten-free. And I was doing gluten-free, 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 and it kept coming out like dirt. It was soggy, it was grainy, it was nasty and nasty and nasty and nasty and brick-like over and over and over again. And I was committed to it. Look, I hear you, Suli. Don't quit the goal, quit the method to get there. Find another way, another project, another path. I don't know, Suli. I know that Steve agrees with you, but I'm thinking sometimes quit that goal. Maybe that goal wasn't for you. Or maybe don't quit the goal, but stop, readjust, and come back to that path another day. Come back to that goal another day. Put that goal on the back burner. So when I was trying to figure out getting this system set up so that I could multi-stream to two different platforms, the Facebook and the YouTube, I sat all day on Saturday into the evening until I was looking at the screen like this. I could barely see. And I was like, okay, I'm blinking. You know how when you try to stay awake and you can't stay awake and like rubbing your eyes, clean your glasses. You're like, I still can't see. My cousin got on one of the feeds when it was a test. He's like, go to bed, Kai, go to bed. But I was so committed to getting it. No, I need this to work. And one of my dear friends is like, Kai, put it down. Go to sleep. Try it again in the morning. Maybe would it help you to take some time away from it? Come back and revisit it another time. So quit for now. Don't necessarily quit forever, but quit for now. Come back to it. So when I couldn't get the gluten-free right, I was like, I can't do it. Nope, I don't offer gluten-free. That's it. No, I don't. Now, I had bought every gluten-free flour mixture out there. I had bought each of the individual flours and practiced making my own gluten-free flour mix. One day it would work, the next day it didn't work. And I measure by weight. So I know I'm using the exact formula over and over again. So one day it works, one day it doesn't work. Okay, so then that means this formula doesn't work. If it's not consistent, it doesn't work. And after about 3 weeks of up all night, wasting money, oh my God, how much money I wasted buying all of this gluten-free flour, baking over and over again and throwing it in the trash. We don't waste food. I was wasting food. Eventually, I just said, no, I don't make gluten-free. One day I will come back to it, but not today. Not right now. I can't get it right. So nope, I don't offer it. It's been a year. It was a year. It was a year of me not even trying. I gave away all my gluten-free flour to a friend Jana, who comes on to the feed, comes to our table. I gave it all to her because she's gluten-free. So I'm like, look, take all of this stuff. And I mean, I had probably at least 10, 15 pounds of gluten-free flour. Okay. Now I'm like, look, just put it in your freezer, pull it out of your freezer whenever you can. I had big old huge Ziploc bags full of flour, brown rice flour that I had purchased in bulk. I think I purchased like a 20-pound bag of this flour, or maybe more, I'm not sure. But I had way too much stuff that I wasn't even going to use. So I quit. I stopped. I'm like, no, I gave away all the flour. And I moved out here to Maryland, and I went into a store, and a year later, and I found a new flour, and I was ready to come at it again. Let me try again. Good morning, Stace. If T is with you, good morning, T. I was ready to come at it again, and I had this new flour mixture, and I made some gluten-free cupcakes. And y'all, they turned out good. Now, they turned out really good. Not the graininess, not the gooiness, because the complication here is that I'm doing gluten-free and vegan together. And so it makes it a little difficult. There's a lot of adjustment that has to be done, but it came together. It came together. And so sometimes Now, I'm not sure if it's come together consistently because I haven't tried it again yet. I made a bunch of it at one point, and I'm going to go back to it. But now I'm ready to come back to that same goal. My goal, I guess the goal never changed. In this sense, the goal never changed. I do hope to have gluten-free. But I needed to stop. I needed to quit at that time. It was taking over everything. It was taking over my money, my time, my energy. It was stressing me out. I needed to quit. Sometimes we have to quit and just let it go. This did not work for me. Excuse me. So it says, and sometimes when you quit, something happens and boom, goal accomplished. Yes, that's true, but we have to allow ourselves to quit. Oh, excuse me. Get it together. Get it together. It's going to rain out here, so y'all know I'm about to be having an issue because it's supposed to rain all week long. The pressure's changing in the air. Whew. It's like my body is a weather machine. I can tell you what the weather's going to be. We have to allow ourselves to quit. We have to allow ourselves. We have to allow those around us to try it out. And then it doesn't work. This isn't for me. So, okay, I don't want to do this. We have to allow ourselves and those around us to quit. Because if we don't allow quitting, we're not pushing for people to try multiple things. If I'm not allowed to quit when I don't want to do something or when something isn't working right for me, I'm not going to be so ready to take the risk of a new adventure. I'm not going to. Steve said, instead of saying quit, use reboot as an alternate word. Yeah, but I'm okay with quit. I quit. I quit. I quit. Because sometimes, Steve, it is rebooting. You're right. Sometimes I'm just rebooting. I'm pausing. So sometimes you're pausing, rebooting, and you're going to come back and play again. But sometimes you just quit, and that is okay. Maybe you need to try 20 different instruments before you find the instrument that really calls you, speaks to you, that really touches your soul when you pick it up. Before you find the instrument that you don't ever want to put down again. Maybe you need to try 10 different sports before you find the sport that is for you, or before you realize that no sport is for you. You just need to take a walk every day, maybe run, do some jumping jacks. But your thing is coding. Maybe you need to try coding and software development and whatever else. You know, that's not my language. Maybe you need to try that before you realize this is not for me, but that instrument is. What I'm saying is, if we keep building people up to understand or to believe that quitting is not acceptable, then we have people who are diving into things and staying in it because I can't quit. And sometimes staying in relationships that they shouldn't stay in because they don't want to give up on this relationship, but really, they should have quit that relationship a long time ago. Every relationship isn't for you. Every person isn't for you. Everything that you decide you want to do is not for you. And it is okay to quit. I know y'all are differing with me on this one, but I don't care. I quit. And I'm okay quitting. I quit, and that does not make me a quitter. I'm not quitting any specific thing right now. I'm just saying. It does not make me a quitter. It makes me a trier. That's what it makes me. I tried it. I did not like it. And therefore I quit. That's what it makes me. It makes me a risk taker. It makes me adventurous that I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try everything I want to try, knowing that if it isn't for me, if it doesn't sit right with my soul, if it has run its course, I will let it run its course. I will let it lay there. I will walk away from it. I will not get so invested in something and be afraid to quit that I keep digging myself in. What is that? There's a business. I always forget what it is, but it's in business. In business where, sorry, you know what? I got to check my phone here real quick. Okay, I'm just making sure it wasn't somebody that needed me for work. So, because I'm on my break right now, don't bother me on my break. There's a practice or a situation in business where you invest so much that you it's like a point of no return. Like you put all of your money in something with a goal or with a plan for, like, let's say a project is supposed to cost $1 million, and then 2 million in, you're 2 million in, and therefore you don't want to stop this project because you've already spent 2 million on it. And now you're 3 million in and you don't want to stop this project because you spent 3 million on this project, but its project is going nowhere. And next thing you know, $20 million later, you started off with a $5 million project. $20 million later, you still don't have your project. At what point do you quit? At what point do you say, I've invested enough? I've invested enough money. I've invested enough energy. I've invested enough thought. I have to quit. This is consuming me. Thank you, Rose, for keeping me on time. At what point do you say enough is enough? I quit. And allow yourself to quit, not to reboot, not to pause. Allow yourself to quit. Not to quit and stay down, not to quit and do nothing, but to quit this one thing because now you realize it's not for you, and I'm going to focus on this other thing. Suli says, I think personally we all know when to drop the bag. It starts to eat at your time and energy. It becomes a negative return. Yes, Suli, but we beat ourselves up because we're quitting. And we don't all know. We don't all know when it's okay to quit because we oftentimes quit a mile down the road when we should have quit right here. We quit at the 580 interchange when we should have quit at the Richmond-San Rafael Bridge. We should have quit there. Eventually we quit, but we should have quit prior to that. Anthony says quitting and this isn't working are two different things. No, it's not two different things. It's not two different things to me, because sometimes when something really isn't working, we still force ourselves to try to make it work because we don't want to quit. We try to make things work. Let me just see if I can get this to work. But why is quitting such a negative thing? Now, if you are a person who starts and quits and starts and quits and you can't commit to anything, that's a problem. But we're not saying that. We need you to commit to things that you do, but allow yourself to stop when it's not working for you. And at the beginning of it, I mean, you put a little bit of effort into making it work, but if it doesn't work, quit. Quit. Let it go. Like Elsa, let it go. I'm not quitting anything. Because remember, life is an adventure. We talked about it, right? Life is an adventure. And it's one adventure after the other. Don't stay so stuck in this adventure, trying to make this adventure work, that you miss the next adventure. You miss this road, this path that was equally trodden. You miss that path because you're so busy trying to stay steadfast on this path. Quit and be okay with quitting. So when I walk around here and I'm on here and I'm like, look, y'all, I quit. I'm done. Stay says people need to reboot every once in a while. I go to the water and listen to the waves for an hour, only letting the sound take my mind. I've only quit one thing, and after 25 years, I just wanted. Where's the rest of your comment? I don't see the rest. Maybe it's coming. Steve says, I spent 13 years on development before I got my first yes. But that's okay because it was still working for you, Steve. I'm not saying quit, just run around being a quitter. I'm not saying don't put forth your best effort when something is working for you. And what I mean, it was working for you, it is still your passion. I didn't quit with the gluten-free. I didn't quit. I stopped. I paused and coming back to it. Suli says, oh, you just, Stay says, I just wanted to be happy and tea helps with that. That's perfect. We love tea. Suli says, I quit a lot of things and people. Don't get hung up with it. It makes space for more. That's right. But we have to make sure that we are using the right language so that our kids understand. Because we talk about, hey, if you're going to be committed to this, if you're going to do this, remember we talked about if I pay for you to play basketball, you're going to play. Now, you can quit after one season, but you can't quit in the middle of the season because I paid for the season. We're going to stay committed for this length of time. And if this does not work for you, if after that length of time, this isn't working for you, no problem. You don't have to come back to the next season. I'm going to go back and I'm going to bake that bread again. Suli says, I don't use the word quit in my house. Yeah, but why not? What's wrong with that word? What's wrong with that word? I say there's nothing wrong with the word. I say that we should allow quit. We should allow it, but under very unique circumstances and only after thorough thought, because we are thorough thinkers, only after thorough thought. No, we don't really disagree here. I think we're all saying somewhat the same thing. I would not say this is a time where we agree to disagree. It's like bougie. I don't know. I have not allowed quitting. I have not allowed. I think that it has such a negative connotation to it. Rose says it spells defeated, degradations, etc. But I don't. But does it really? Does it really? Let's think about that. Let's revisit this conversation, and I'm revisiting it from your perspective as well. I understand we all have the same sentiment here. We all have the same sentiment. But I want to make sure, especially those of us who still have others under us, raising these strong kings that we're raising. Suli says, because I have placed an emotional charge behind it. It's not a word I associate with progress. There are so many words we can use. What word can we use to replace quit? And why an emotional charge? Steve says, Kai, if you came to me with the idea to start a tech company, I would simply tell you to seriously think of rebooting. You know what, Steve? If I was a cursing woman, you know I curse sometimes, but I'll be cursing. Let me explain something to you, Steve. I am not really technologically challenged. I can work it all out. I can figure it out. I can code. I have coded. I have developed websites from HTML code. Thank you very much. And I am damn good at it. But I put my energy where I want to put my energy. And when I'm not putting my energy towards coding and software development and tech, then yes, I will stumble through some stuff. But I am not as technologically challenged as you may think I am, brother from another mother. It has to cultivate a good feeling with seed. Rose says, I don't care if it doesn't work and it's not a passion, I let it go. That's just, Suli says, that's just me personally. I like it. Hey, listen, I don't have anything against anything that anybody is saying, but I just am, I'm thinking about this, right? Because we all are really operating from the same goal, really, to stay committed to things. But I just don't know if I want to have an emotional charge with the word quit anymore. I don't want to raise a quitter. And I think that's the thing, that there needs to be a distinction. I don't want to raise a quitter, and I don't want to be a quitter. But I do want to raise someone who recognizes when it's time to quit. I think that's what it is. There's a distinction for me between the two. There's an emotional charge with quitter versus quit. A quitter, to me, is someone who can't ever stay committed to something they choose to do. When it gets hard, you stop. You don't have the perseverance. You don't have the strength of character to push through the difficult times. You're lazy. You don't want to work hard. That's a quitter. But someone who quits is very different for me. If you quit after you put in all the hard work and you realize this is not touching your soul, it's not speaking to your soul, let it go. That's what it is. Let it go. Resign. That's a good word. Suli says, I say to Z, when we feel like we want to quit, rise up to the challenge to the best you can. And we reach this max. He'll say, I did my best. Or he'll say, I did my best. Dear Lord, I cannot type for shit. Suli, I think we're raising the same. We are raising the same type, and I think it's the same thing. But that's why I wanted to have this conversation. I want to challenge our understanding of quit. I want to challenge our understanding. We're not raising quitters. We are pushing through. We are pushing through. Rose says it's not their passion. That's why they quit, and they are tickled. Fickle. Thank you. Thank you. They are fickle. Yeah, I think I want to challenge our idea around quitting versus quitter. Two totally different things. Like, yeah, you see, Suli, I'm ignoring Steve's comment because Steve be coming from left field sometimes. Like, dude, what you talking about barbecue chips? We on a different topic right now. Where's your squirrel, man? What squirrel are you following? So I just want to challenge us always to think about how we use language and the power behind these words in terms of the sentiment that we can that develops because of the way we use our language. And sometimes there's this negative connotation to words that are really in and of themselves not negative, right? And it's kind of like bougie, like, thank you, Rose. It's kind of like bougie, right? There's this negative connotation to this, which really is not all that negative. There's a negative connotation. It's our own boundaries. It's this emotional charge that we have because of how we perceive this word, when in fact, it's not the word. And it's not really even the idea behind the word. You can quit if you want to, but only after you try this and do that and put forth your best effort. Is this your best effort? If this is your best effort, then whatever results from that is all that we're looking for. I want your best effort. I don't want 100% unless it's 100% effort. That's what we're aiming for. Right. Yes, right there, our own boundaries. When it's something I say I'm taking a break or taking it slow. Right. We take a break from it sometimes and we can have those conversations. Is this something that you want to stop permanently? Or is this something that you need to put down for a moment and revisit it at a later time with a fresh mind, fresh eyes, fresh emotions, right? It's okay to quit. That's what I want to say. And that's what I want to encourage everybody here at the table to understand. It's okay to quit. There's nothing negative about quitting. There isn't. Change how you feel about that word. We can agree to disagree, but we don't really disagree. In this, I want to challenge you to challenge your own emotions that you feel when you think about the word quit. That's what I want to do, because we are trying to self-improve on a regular basis. So I want to challenge you to revisit how you feel about that word and why you feel that way. Because nobody at this table is really a quitter. That's something different. We're not saying be a quitter. Don't do that. Don't do that. But do allow yourself to quit when that's necessary. When it's necessary, quit. Stop. Move on. Maybe that's what we can say. I'm moving on. I'm going to stop this and I'm going to move on to that. It is still quitting, but you can use whatever words you want. It is still quitting. So why not let it be quit? I quit. Y'all going to hear me say that I quit, and don't come trying to convince me not to. I quit, damn it. I'm done. It's done. All right. Anyway, thank you for engaging with me in this conversation. This is what we do. We are philosophical sometimes. Nobody has the right answer. We all have thoughts. We all have our own perspective, and everybody's perspective is respected at this table. Yeah, exactly. Suli, that's his own little personal thing. I don't know why he's just thinking about, look, the men. Right. It ain't none of them here. Where are the men? Steve, where y'all at? State's over there quiet. Tita, shut him up. No, it's the women that rule this table, man. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's 3 here today, Susie. Anthony's here with us today. Anthony's down in LA. Anthony is here, so y'all got 3. How many we got on a regular basis? It's the women that rule the world. Don't get it twisted. And if you think you rule the world, it's because we let you think that. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh no, we don't use that word quit. We're not gonna quit hating. We're gonna reboot. We're gonna reboot our hate. Anyway, guys, thank you for being at the table with me today. We will be at the table tomorrow. Stay right, stays like, huh? What y'all talking about? And Anthony them shut up. He's like, no, y'all men, y'all on your own. I'm sitting up here with the ladies. I ain't a lady, but I know not to cross them. Don't cross the ladies. Anyway, guys, have a wonderful, glorious day. Continue to stay safe. Yeah, exactly, Steve. That's right. Right now, I'm gonna reboot the hate. Stay safe. Stay social distance. Keep your masks on. Keep your hands washed a million times. Keep the lotion because you know they're gonna dry out. Please stay safe. We want you here at this table on a regular basis. And I will see you guys here tomorrow. Thank you for joining me. And thank you for being at this table and pouring in and engaging in these conversations. This is what we do. We challenge ourselves to take on new ideas, to hear others' perspectives. That's it. Not to take them. Really not to take them on. Take them on in terms of understand, but not necessarily to make them ours, right? You be you, and I'm going to be me. And we're going to end up in the same place because we're on the same path. Have a wonderful, glorious day, guys.